Help me help
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel once again. For everybody that has been watching at home, at school, in an alternate reality, or wherever you might be right now, this is Kia's Reviews, and this is my review of the new and astonishingly amazing animated superhero movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh! Act super normal. Selecting a bagel.
Spider-Man?
You know, that's funny. I get that a lot.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was especially memorable in terms of animated films and Spider-Man films. On top of the magnificently incredible animation, this movie truly knew how to intertwine multiple Spider people into a universe in which they each exist codependently. A lot of things were entirely satisfying in this movie, from the humor to the astonishingly crafted action sequences. However, this film wasn't without its flaws, from its predictability to the amount of emotion they were hoping to achieve. But overall, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a wonderful movie.
Miles, where did you go?
Can Spider-Man turn invisible?
Not in my universe. Wow, this is incredible. Some kind of fight or flight thing.
What's that?
A big strength this film had behind it was its simply amazing soundtrack, with songs noticeable from other films like Baywatch to other songs heard by rap artists nowadays, connected together to create something quite memorable. It was nice to see that this movie didn't only rely on bringing in so many Spider people from the comics or the impressive animation. They actually focused on a story that stuck for the whole movie, even though it was very rocky in the second half. Sony aren't known to make great movies, let alone Spider-Man movies, but in this instance, they did something spectacular. The humor was as enjoyable as the surprise Sony hit me with. It was really well done.
Hey guys,
Wanda?
it's Gwen, actually.
Oh, you know her. Very cool.
I'm from another dimension. I mean, another dimension.
Before we delve into the negatives, the humor and the animation were easily the two parts of the movie that worked. I found myself laughing from the first minute as they just crammed in all of their most memorable jokes in this first minute. From mocking their worst Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 3, what about Venom? To not focusing on the whole backstory, as audiences have seen it enough, was really impressive. On the note of humor, I didn't really feel like I laughed too much at this movie. Most of the funny jokes were in the trailers, which was disappointing, but that didn't mean that it still wasn't funny. The animation left me speechless because it was so breathtaking, and there's really not much more I can say about it.
How many more Spider people are there?
Save it for Comic-Con.
What's Comic-Con?
Let's go!
These strengths are so noticeable but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did have its moments where it really felt flawed. If I'm being honest, the second half of the film was really messy in terms of its pace, moving quickly to moving really slowly. This pacing really made me confused on what was going on, combined with the quick animation. However, the biggest problem with this movie was the constant repetition. Every time a new Spider-Person was introduced, it was assumed that the audience knew their story already, which became both annoying and disappointing, as not everybody knows the backstory of the characters alike with Spider-Gwen or Spider-Man Noir. That is one thing that Suicide Squad actually did really well. That film really introduced their characters and took their time. However, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse could have done that better by extending the movie by another 20 minutes at the most. Having the same spiel for every character was really disappointing, making me think that this movie couldn't keep all these characters well tied together.
I love this burger. It's so delicious. One of the best burgers I've ever had. You have money, right?
There is so much more I want to say about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because there were so many strengths and some more weaknesses to this movie. However, overall as a film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was pretty special in terms of its animation, humor, and excellent action sequences. In my opinion, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Rise of Electro will always be my Spider-Man movie, but this is a close combatant. Definitely not as bad as Venom. Into the Spider-Verse doesn't deserve its 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but that does not mean that I didn't like this movie, because it was definitely worth seeing. I'm giving this a well-deserved 7 out of 10. Before I conclude this review, I want to pay my respects to the most wonderful comic book god of all time, Stan Lee. Stan Lee, you inspired so many people, and it's honestly so upsetting to have you gone. It was truly beautiful to see you deliver the most perfect cameo in this movie, and that added to the reason I really loved your cameos. You've added to the joy of audiences at Marvel movies, and you're the reason we usually come back to them. Stan Lee, you're a true wonder, and I do not care that I'm saying this, but you were everybody's true Marvel. Thank you for these wonderful characters and these wonderful movies.
Excelsior. You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
Thank you so much for watching. Are you excited to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Let me know your thoughts below. If you like what you're seeing here and you want to see even more, check out my channel and be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald and The Girl in the Spider's Web. As always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you may like to watch. This has been Kier's Reviews, and I'm signing off for now.